space and an organization that would support the kinds of things that we were interested in as young artists. And what that meant to us was to make work that was socially relevant, to make work that supported women's visions, that supported the poor and working communities, that worked deeply in neighborhoods and actually could transform spaces. My co-founders are Christina Schlesinger, who's also an artist, a muralist, and writer, and historian as well, and Donna Deitch, who's a filmmaker. They became my co-founders in about 1973 when we became acquainted through the feminist movement here in Venice and in Los Angeles.
I had been in Tucson, being on the committee that was going to do a big festival for this one-of-a-kind exhibition that was coming in called the Chicano Art Resistance and Affirmation Exhibition. And of all people, it turns out that this lady named Judy Baca was one of the national curators of it. And she was coming to Tucson, and my friend from the Tucson Pima Arts Council had hosted her and asked if I would come as part of a community leader event to come and meet her, and I did, and then come to find out that she had also known the prior curator at SPARC, which happened to be Marietta Bernsdorf. So we had a friend in common, and I certainly knew of the work, but I really didn't know a lot of what SPARC was about. But I also knew what I liked about it was that it was rooted in community. And I think that if you look at the trajectory of my art career, it's always been that it has to benefit ethnic communities, and certainly SPARC does that.
I think it's a very important institution. Since it's been around for 40 years, I think the major projects that it's done, the Great Wall, the World Wall, Neighborhood Pride, are programs that really put a standard to social practice. They were the forerunners of all this. So I'm using another format, but I'm using the same concept as Judy's always held really high here, and looking for artists who are interested in those concepts.
Donna was doing that with her film, the documentary films that she was making. Christina was interested in working in the mural movement and signed up for one of my mural crews. And when she signed up for one of my mural crews, she never left. And Donna and I met around the founding of the Women's Building, and it was in a late night kind of session that Christina began to try 100 different acronyms and came up with the idea of the Social and Public Art Resource Center. And we all said, oh, that's way too complicated and too difficult. But she said, really, it's great, because only a spark. It only takes a spark to start a prairie fire. And I thought that's exactly perfect.
You know, when I looked at who SPARC, what it was doing, that we were rooted in art, community, education, and social justice. And that really at the heart of what we believed was that art was a tool for social change and self-transformation. That you could, in fact, do work that was about something.
What keeps me motivated, and I think what keeps artists motivated in general about doing this work in social practice and social change work, is a belief in the transformative power of the arts. And I have the privilege of working in this lab. And the lab is filled with young people from my university classes, and also other artists who come through here. We're constantly creating new things and dreaming about big ideas. So one of the things that keeps me motivated is young people. Another thing that keeps me motivated is that there are issues that we keep needing to address. We are citizens of this world as artists, and we have visions that perhaps are the bigger dreams. And our job really is to keep the dreaming and keep the hope alive. And that, when it works, and it doesn't always work, when it does work, it's magical.
Okay. So as we're singing this, the Great Wall is the visual, right?
Yeah. So this is the Great Wall song that Priscilla Rouse and Kelly Watts,
At 16 years old.
at 16 years old, who were two young African American girls on the Great Wall, wrote. And it was highlighted in the Bill Moyers Creativity in America. And
Series, actually.
yeah. There's a mural I know where the people all go in the sewer. You. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a funny song about the sewer. You got your unsigned Indian treaties, Dust Bowl refugees, Japanese internment. Your culture, my culture, everybody's culture's in the sewer. You. Thank you, Judy.